Well, a politician doesn't like to go after a politician.
Well, and here's the problem. The problem is that the state's attorney, you have to be a licensed lawyer to run for and hold the office.
And let's give a little more history of that, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much for every elected position in the state of Florida, there's only two that have a requirement. If you're going to be a judge, you have to have a law degree. If you're going to be the state attorney, you have to have a law degree. And the state attorney is an elected position.
The title is attorney, but it's the person who's sort of the go-between between the public and the Attorney General of the state.
Right.
And ultimately the governor.
And one of the problems that we see, and look, I understand it. I understand. I'm not necessarily faulting the people that have those positions, but I understand if you are an elected, if you're a politician and you're elected by the people, if you want to be elected again, in your mind, you're going to try to do things that's going to help get you elected again.
Right.
And Deborah and I have discussed this, and we just want to say that we've officially kicked off our campaign today. And ladies and gentlemen, I think you know both of us well enough to know that when we decide to take a bite on something, we're gonna chew on it for a while. We've officially started our campaign today. We would like the requirement of an attorney be taken off for the state attorney. I think a good citizen, a person with a healthy distaste of government activities is what we need as a state attorney.
Government activities.
Of corrupt activities. That's right. I think it muddies the water.
It certainly reduces the pool of available applicants.
Absolutely.
To a group of people, and we don't want to down all the lawyers out there. There's certain professional requirements that put groups like the Bar Association, give groups like the Bar Association some influence with them.
Right.
I
just think we're going to start this campaign. It should be open to Joe Citizen. There are plenty of lawyers in that building to give legal advice. What I'm talking about here is the state attorney is the director of what we look at and what we decide to go after. And I think a person with a good, healthy fear of government power and the ability to see government corruption and it comes from a pool of citizens would be much better for us.
They're overseeing people who are professionally qualified. What they're doing is making the decision where to go.
On what
it's a highly political job.
Right, absolutely. Well, Deborah, you went to a Pensacola City Council meeting.
Well, Pensacola, as you know, has reviewed its charter, blueprint for the city government. And we should disclose that, I'm serving as president this year for the Pensacola Bay Area League of Women Voters, and the league has had some concerns with the whole process.
Right.
They were supposed to go in and review the existing charter, and this was supposed to be a comprehensive review, and they were supposed to submit a report. Now,
have you seen a report?
There was no report, and this is the sticking point. Is typically you'll get at least an executive summary or something like that, where the group that has done the research and has done the review would go through, and what they were supposed to do was look at every element that they were reviewing in the current charter, which, as you know, is a council form of government, and talk about what was wrong with it, what was right with it, what they should change, what they shouldn't change, and there should be a whole big document available so that we can see their thinking. As you know, they've decided they want to change from a council form of government to a strong mayor form of government.
Right.
Our league person who was there, our representative, and also one of the charter committee, review committee representatives actually came out and said that, in their opinion, the review committee went in from the beginning wanting to change to a strong mayor form of government.
Right, without actually looking at the facts.
Exactly.
Right.
So we've asked for a report. There was no report. And the person who was originally assigned to be their advisor an academic advisor. He's a doctor out of UWF. Actually ended up resigning in the almost halfway through the process because he was not happy with the way things were going.
And certainly, even though we're over here, you know, in my place, you're certainly more active in it than I am. But when I just look at the broad brush here, I understand his problems with it.
Well, we have footage of him actually trying to address it at a recent city council meeting, and what happened was he was told to sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
And this has apparently been a bit of a pattern throughout this whole process,
right.
But maybe not everybody got the chance to speak. We're going to go ahead and show that footage. And this is Dr. Bill Haraway speaking before the City Council on the 21st.
The City Council charged the CRC for writing amendments, deletions, or new provisions as a single item in a final report to the City Council. However, I have yet to see a report with any kind of executive summary that describes what was changed, why it was changed, and how we went from where we were to where we want to go. That's an important issue when you're talking about language for a ballot. Because if the CRC can't explain it to you, how can you explain it to the citizens? Okay? The CRC was charged to take all necessary steps to ensure that it has conducted a thorough and responsible review of the charter. I would submit to you that they haven't done that because they failed to take a look at the council manager form of government that you have now. In fact, I recall, and it's on your videotapes, the chair holding up the model charter from the National Civic League and saying, we're not going to use this. This is our CMA. This is city manager stuff. That's not what we're going to do. Okay. The CRC was also charged for public input so that it's not restrictive or complex as to hamper the free flow of opinion or to prevent the open expression and examination of positions on issues under consideration. I would like to submit to you that that didn't happen. Ms. Mack herself several meetings ago said that the CRC was a bully and was bullying people at those meetings. I can tell you as the previous consultant that I raised my hand many times at this very chair and was not given an opportunity as your consultant to say what I thought. This was from Tom Bonfield when he was city manager. A charter review commission is wise to rely heavily on a consultant's knowledge, experience, and guidance. This did not happen. Therefore, as a result, it's my view as a scholar and previous consultant to your CRC commission that what you have here is an illegitimate process because they didn't meet their charge.
Well, Deborah, he sounds like a man after my own heart. He used the word illegitimate process.
Yes.
And he said if you start out at the wrong place,
yes,
you can only end up at the wrong place.
yes.
I tell you, I appreciate him. I'm glad I got an opportunity to see that. He stood up to him.
Well, here's what's interesting. Is Dr. Haraway was speaking at the hearing where they were deciding what the ballot language should say. And what's fascinating is that there's been this push from the beginning by a very small group of influential people for a strong mayor government. From the beginning, strong mayor, strong mayor. But during this hearing where they were deciding what to put on the ballot, the same people came up and said, well, don't put the word strong mayor.
Right, they want to camouflage
on the ballot because that might sway people. That might sound negative to people and sway people against it. And then all of a sudden they wanted to say, well, let's put mayor council on the ballot.
It's just like you and I said from the first time we ever discussed this. The power base is limited to a small group of people to start out with.
Yes.
And now they want to make that power base even smaller group of people, which is dangerous.
Smaller group of people with direct control over hiring and firing of civil service and the distribution of grant money.
Right.
God only knows what kind of grant money.
Right. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Kind of a mixed match today. And we will see you in the near future, 1 week from today. I'm Jerry Cooper.